Hello everyone, welcome to Pepcoding. In this video, we will look at the question minimum jumps with plus I and minus I moves. Okay, so let's take the question statement so we can actually understand what the question is saying. Okay, cool. So it is saying that given an integer x, let's say my x is 70, right? The task is to find the minimum number of jumps to reach a point x in the number line starting from 0. So let's make a number line, right? And this is 0, this is let's say 10, and this is let's say 20. Okay, my number x is 70, so it is somewhere around here 70, right? And now we are saying that it is the task is to find the minimum number of jumps to reach a point x in the number line starting from 0. So I'll take some jumps from 0 and I have to count the minimum jumps by which I can reach this 17 point. Okay, now the first jump made can be of length 1 unit, and each successive jump will be exactly 1 unit longer than the previous jump in length. Okay, so it is saying that the first jump that I'll take will be of 1 unit, and every successive jump will be of 1 units more than the previous jump. Okay, it is allowed to either go left or right in each jump, which means I can either take a jump in this direction or I can take a jump in this direction, right? So what does this mean? Let's say that I take the first jump in a positive direction, right? It will be of 1 units. So I'll get to 1, right? Now I can take a plus 2 jump, right? Then I'll get to 3, right? Now I can take a minus 3 jump, right? I'll get to 0 again. So it does not really matter how I have to take a jump in the left or right direction. It is just saying that every successive jump will be of plus one unit. Okay, so we have to take jumps like this in such a way that I have to reach my destination, right? I have to take a jump of plus 1, then jump of plus 2, a jump of plus 3, right? And jump of plus 4 and so on, and I have to reach this 17, right? I have to reach this destination. So how am I going to solve this question, right? What is going to be the approach for this question? How we are going to solve this? In this question, we will learn what and how of this question first, and then we'll realize then we'll see why it is actually working in this case. Okay, so first we'll do the what, how, and why approach. Right? We'll first discuss the what and how of this question, then we'll see why it is actually working the way it is working. Okay, so in this question, the first thing, let's write the steps. Okay, let's write the steps here. So the steps are going to be that my first step will be, or let's write it like this is my first step, right? My first step is going to be that I have to minimize the distance between myself and x, right? So I have to minimize the distance between myself and x, and I have to be on the right of x, right? What does this mean? This means let's take the jumps first. Okay, let's take a jump of plus 1. I take a jump of plus 1, I get to here 1, right? I'll take a jump of plus 2, I get here 3, right? I take a jump of plus 3, I get to 6. I take a jump of plus 4, I get to 10. I take a jump of plus 5, I get to 15. And I take a jump, now I'm at 15, right? The distance between 15 and 17 is of 2 units, but I'm saying that I have to be on the right of x, right? So I have to minimize the distance between myself and x, and I have to be on the right hand side of x. Okay, I have to be on the right of x. Okay, so now I'll take a jump of plus 6 units, which will get me to 21, right? After taking a jump of plus 6 unit, I'll get to 21. Now since I'm on the right, I will have my second step, which is see the distance or look at the distance. What is my distance saying? Right? What is the distance between me and the destination? This is my destination and this is me. What is the distance between me and the destination? Okay, the distance here is 4 units, right? 4 units. So we will say that if my distance is even, or it can be odd, right? It can be even or it can be odd. So if my distance is even, then I'll reverse the jump. I'll reverse the jump of distance by 2 units. Distance by 2 units. Okay, so I'm saying that when my distance comes out to be even, this distance comes out to be even, is this 4 units, right? So I'll reverse the jump of distance by 2 units. So what was the jump of distance by 2 units? Distance by 2 is actually 4 by 2, which is 2 only, right? 4 by 2 is 2. So this jump that I took of +2, I'll take this jump in the negative direction, right? I will take a -2 jump. So here for this case, I will take a jump of, this was 4 by 2, right? Which is 2. So I'll take a jump of -2 units, right? Instead of taking a jump of +2 units, I'll take a jump of -2 units, right? So let's solve this using the information that we have only, right? So I'm at this position, right? I'll take a jump of +1, I get to here, right? Now I'm taking a jump of -2, and when I take a jump of -2, I get to -1, right? Now when I take a jump of +3, right? I'm taking a jump of +3, I'll get to 2, right? Now I'll take a jump of +4, so +4, I'll get to 6, right? Now I'll take a jump of +5, I'll get to 11, right? I'll get to 11 if I take a jump of +6 or +5, right? Now I'll take a jump of +6, I'll get to 70, right? If I take a jump of +6, I'll get to 70. So you can see that if I'm at even position, or if my distance comes out to be even, the distance is between me and the x, right? If my distance comes out to be even, then I'll reverse the jump of distance by 2 units, right? This is what I'm saying. Now, it does not mean that my distance is always going to be even, right? My distance can be odd as well. So what are we going to do in that case? Okay, what are we going to do in that case? So let's see. Let's make another number line and let's take another case. Okay, let's take this case only, or let's go to the new page. Okay, let's take a case of x is equals to 18, right? Now I'm at 0. Now this is, let's say, 10 and this is, let's say, 20, right? For 18, I start taking the jumps, right? I take a jump of +1, I get to 1. I take a jump of +2, I get to 3. I take a jump of +3, I get to 6. I take a jump of +4, I get to 10. I take a jump of +5, right? I get to 15. I take a jump of +6 and I get to 21, right? And my destination is 18, right? This is my x. So let's calculate the distance now, right? My distance here is 3 units, right? My distance came out to be 3 units. It is 3 units. So what are we going to do in that case? Now my distance is odd, right? So for this case, I'll say that if my distance is odd, take one more jump. Okay, I'll say take one more jump. Right? And let's see what do we get when we take one more jump. Okay, if we take one more jump, from here, right? If I take a jump of +7 here, I'll get to 28, right? When I get to 28, let's look at the distance that I have, right? My new distance is going to be 3 plus 7, which is 10 units, right? Now my distance came out to be 10, which is even. So can we do the same thing that we did for, can we do the same thing that we did for the case of even only, which was to reverse the jump of distance by 2 units. Okay, so we are saying that if my distance came out to be, if my distance comes out to be even, when I take a one more jump, when my old distance, my old distance came out to be odd, and I took one more jump and it comes out to be even, right? If my distance comes out to be even, then I'll do the same thing that I did for the case of even only, right? Which is reverse the jump of distance by 2 units, right? This, reverse the jump of distance by 2, reverse the jump of distance by 2 units. Okay, so if we do this, we are here at this point, right? Let's do the same thing. What is the distance by 2 here? Right, distance here is 10 units. So 10 by 2 is 5. So instead of taking this plus 5 jump, we are going to take a jump of minus 5. Right, we'll take a jump of minus 5. So a jump of minus 5 will get me to here, right? Somewhere around here. So let's do this. Right, so I'll take a jump of plus 1. Same as this. Plus 2, right, at 3. Plus 3 at 6. Plus 4 at 10. Right, now instead of taking a jump of plus 5 in the forward direction, I'm going to take a jump of minus 5, right? So this will get me to here at 5, right? This will get me back to 5 of minus 5. Now from 5, I'll take a jump of 6, right? From 5, a jump of 6 will get me to 11, right? This is plus 6. Now a jump of 7 will get me to 18. A plus 7 jump will get me to 18, which is my right destination. Okay, this is my destination. I hope you understand this, that uh, when my old distance was even, I was reversing the jump of distance by 2 units, right? But when my distance came out to be odd, I took one more jump, right? And when that jump came out to be even, I did the same thing that I did for the case of even, which is to reverse the jump of distance by 2 units. Okay, that is my jump count only. That is my jump count, right? That is my jump count only. But let's see. Now, this does not mean that every time that I will get a case like this only, right? That I take a one more jump and it comes out to be even as well, right? There can be a case when I take one more jump, it will give me odd, right? If I get odd, then I take one more jump, I still get a odd distance. So this can be a case as well. Okay, so let's look at this case as well, right? Let's take a case of x as 25, right? Let's take the case of 25. Let's make one more number line. We are at 0. This is 10. This is, let's say, 20, right? Now we take a jump of plus 1 and let's write the destination as well. So let's write 10 here, 20 here, 25 will be somewhere around here, and 30 here, right? So first I'll take a jump of plus 5 or plus 1, right? Plus 1. Plus 1, I'll get to 1. Plus 2, I'll get to 3. Plus 3, I'll get to 6. Plus 4, I'll get to 10. Plus 5, I'll get to 15. Plus 6, I'll get to 21. Right? Plus 6, I'll get to 21. Plus 7, I'll get to 28. Right? Plus 7, I'll get to 28. Now, the distance between me and 5 is of 3 units. Right? Distance is 3 units. It is 3 units. So, if it is 3 units, then I should take one more jump, right? So, I'm going to take one more jump. So, if I take one more jump, from here, right, from 28, I will go to plus 8, right? This will get me to 36. right? Now the distance between 25 and 36, the distance between 25 and 36 is 3 plus 8, which is 11. This is still coming out to be odd, right? The distance between here and here is now 11 units, right? I said that I will take one more jump. When my old distance was odd, I took one more jump, and now after taking one more jump, my distance is still odd, right? After it is still odd, after my distance is still odd, I am saying you should take one more jump. You should take one more jump, this one extra jump, and this one extra jump will give me my answer. This will definitely give me my answer. Okay, so if I take one more jump of plus 9 units, right? If I take a jump of plus 9 units, then I will get to 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, right? 45. So I'll get to 45. Now, what is the distance between me and this 25? Right? This 25 and 45, the distance is of 20 units, right? The distance is of 20 units. So I'm saying that if now this distance comes out to be even, right? This distance comes out to be even. So if it is even, then we already know how to solve the question, right? I'm saying that if the distance is even, that if distance is even, then I already know how to solve this question. So okay, so after this, after I take one more jump, I'm saying that if it was odd, then I took one more jump, and if it is odd again, I take one more jump, right? Take one more jump, one extra jump, and after taking one extra jump, it will only give me even, right? It will only give me the case of even, and we already know the answer for even, which is to reverse the jump of distance by 2 units. Okay, this is going to be my answer. This is how it is actually working. Okay, but why it is working, right? Why this is working? Okay, so let's see. Let's say that this is my number line, right? This is my number line, and I take a jump of let's say this is my x, right? I'm at here, which is y, right? The distance between these two positions is comes out to be either even or odd, right? This is what's happening. We already know what's happening for the case of even, that when it is even, then I can just do the reverse of distance, then the reverse jump of distance by 2 units. It is going to give me the jump count. But when it is odd, there are two cases which are going to happen, right? When it is odd, there are two main cases, the major cases, right? That if we take one more jump, it is going to either give me even or odd, right? Now let's say that my first jump, this this first extra jump that I took was of d1, right? This is my distance 1. This is representing this distance 1, right? So this distance 1 is even or odd, right? If it is odd, then I took one more jump, then it is going to give me a distance 2, right? Which can either be even or odd, right? If it is a case of odd, then I said that take one extra jump, it is only going to give me even, right? And this will be my distance 3. So why it is happening? You see, when we are at odd position, right? When my distance comes out to be odd, then I can either take a jump which will give me even, or I can either take a jump which will give me odd, right? So when I take a jump and it gives me even, right? So let's say I have if my current distance is odd, this distance is odd, and I take a jump, right? And after taking this jump, it gives me even, right? So it means that this jump was of odd length, right? This jump was of odd length because only odd plus odd will give me even, right? It means that when this distance came out to be odd, right? This distance came out to be odd, then I took one more jump, right? And this one more jump that I took, right? It has to be of some length, and that length will either be even or odd, right? If this jump is of even length, then this new distance will also be odd, right? But when this distance is of odd length, then this new distance will be of even, because I know that if my old distance is odd, if my d1 is odd, right, and let's say d1 plus jump will be my d2, right? I'm saying that this is my distance 1 and I took one more jump. This one extra jump is my this jump, right? So this d1 plus jump is d2, right? If this is odd, if my old distance is odd, and if this jump is odd as well, then this d2 will always be even, right? This is the case. This is the case of this even, right? That if both of them are odd, then it is going to give me a case of even. But when this is odd and when this is even, right, my distance will give this d2 will come out to be odd, right? Which is the case of this, right? So if my distance is odd again, I'm saying that if this distance is odd, just take one more jump, because I know that the old distance was even, right? The old jump was even. So let's erase this. Okay, so I took a jump of d1, right? Let's write it clearly. This d1 is odd length, right? We know this for sure, that this d1 is of odd length. Now I take a jump, right? Now this jump can be of odd length or even length, or this can be odd or even, right? There can be two cases. So if it is odd, then the d1 plus d2 or d1 plus jump will give me my d2, right? This will give me my d2, and this d2 will be even in this case, because odd plus odd, a d1 is odd, my jump is odd, it is going to give me a d2 of even, right? But if d1 is odd, right, this is the case for this now, right? This, let's remove this, or it is a little confusing, right? This is just different cases. Okay, these are different case and these is a different case. Okay, so if jump is odd, and my d1 is odd as well, then when I take a jump of d1 plus jump, that is going to give me even as an answer. But if my distance is odd and my jump is even, it is going to give me a case of odd, right? That case is this, that when my d2 comes out to be odd, right? That if my d2 comes out to be odd, then we already know how to handle this, right? The first, this is jump 1, right? This is, let's call this jump 1, right? This is my jump 1. But now I will take d2 plus jump 2, right? And since these are consecutives, this jump 1 and the difference between jump 1 and jump 2 is just of 1, right? They are consecutive, so difference between them is of 1 units. So this jump 2 will now be of odd as well, because first jump, this jump 1 was even. Now this jump 2 will also be odd. This will only be odd. This can only be odd because in this case this jump was even, right? So if my d2 is odd and this is odd as well, the answer that I'll get is odd, but the answer that I'll get is even, right? So what is actually happening? We are saying that if my d1 comes out to be even, that I already know how to solve this. But if my d1 comes out to be odd, then I will take one more jump, right? Now that jump can be either odd or it can be even. If it is odd, then d1 plus jump 1, this d1 plus jump 1 will give me even as an answer, right? If jump 1 is odd, then this d1 plus jump 1 will give me even as an answer, because I know that odd plus odd is even, right? But if this is even, then I know that odd plus even gives me odd, right? Odd plus even gives me odd. So for that case, I will say that if d1 is odd and jump 1 is even, right? So I'll get odd as an answer, right? If my d2 is odd now, right? If this d2 is odd now, I'll say that I'll take one more jump. And since my old jump was even for that case, right? This is only happening for this only, right? This is the case for this only. This d2 is only happening if this case works, right? If for this case only, this d2 is happening, right? So this, if the d1, if d2 is if d2 is odd and my jump 1 was even, then my answer was odd, right? Now if the answer is odd, then this d2, if this answer, this d2 is odd and my jump 2 is odd, because I know that the previous jump that I took was even, so my new jump will be odd. So after taking these two numbers, I'll get my answer as even. Okay, it might be a little confusing, but you'll, to really understand it, you have to try run the code once. Okay, as we code, you have to try run the code because it can be a little confusing. Okay, so now let's try to code this question and then we'll discuss what the time complexity of this question is. Okay, so let's do this. This is in C++, right? Now, the first thing is that my sum, I'll take a sum variable, right? This sum variable will keep track of all the jumps that I've taken, right? So if I take a jump of +1, +2, +3, +4, it will all be added to my sum, right? Now I'll take a jump variable, let's call this jump, right? This is at 1 because my first jump, this is representing the jump that I'm going to take, right? So while sum is less than x, right? While sum is less than x, I have to reach the minimum distance, right? So while sum is less than x, sum plus equals to my jump, right? And my jump plus plus, right? After this while loop, I should be at a point something like this, right? Let's say I'm at, after this point, I'll be at this position, that 21, right? And at this 21, I will have a +7, right? I'll be sitting at this 21 with +7, right? So my current jump is 27 and I'm at 21, right? My sum is at 21. So here now my sum is going to be sum, if else sum is equals to x, then I simply means that I've taken 6 jumps so far, right? You can see that I've taken, if this came out to be, if 21 was my case, if 21 was my answer, then my jump is 7, right? So I have to return 6 as my answer, right? So I'll return 7 minus 1, right? My total jumps, because this is the jump, the current jump, which the current jump is storing the jump it has to take, right? It is not storing the jump that it has took so far. It is storing the jump that it has to take, right? The next jump which it is going to take, right? So I have to return jump minus 1, right? So for that case, I'm just simply going to say that return jump minus 1, right? Else if, that if my sum minus x, right, modulo 2 is 0, right? If this is the case, then I also return jump minus 1, right? Because it means that I have to right, because it means that the distance between me and x is of even length, and when it is of even length, then I know that I have to take, right? So this is exactly the case, which is the current case of even length, right? If this is even length, then do I have to take any more jumps? No, I just have to reverse the jump of distance by 2 units. I don't have to take any more jumps, right? So for this case of distance by 2 units, I'm just going to say that return jump minus 1. Okay, this will be the same as this case. Else if, it means that I've taken a jump. It means if I've taken a jump, then jump my jump plus this sum plus this jump minus x modulo 2 is equals to 0. If this is the case, then it means that I've taken one more jump and it has given me even. So if I took one more jump, then I just simply have to return this jump only, right? Because I never incremented my jump now, right? So for this else, it means that I've taken 2 more jumps, right? So I'll return jump plus 1 for this case. Okay, so this is my code. Let's run this. It is successful. Let's submit this code. It is also passing all the test cases. So I hope you understand this question. Now let's take a look at this time complexity. Okay, let's take a look at the time complexity of this question. So let's say that I'm calculating the time complexity for this while loop, right? For this while loop, while sum is less than x. Okay, so what will be the time complexity, right? So my sum is adding up, right? So plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 and so on. Let's say n numbers, okay, still nth numbers, and it is less than x, right? I know that this total sum, this is my sum, this is going to be less than x, right? So I can say that this is the sum of n natural numbers, so that will be n into n plus 1 by 2, which is less than equals to x, right? So if I open this will be n square plus n less than equals to 2x, which is n square plus n minus 2x is less than equals to 0, right? Now if you know the polynomial equation, which is a square plus, or the quadratic equation, a square plus ax square plus bx plus c, then the roots here will be x equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac, right, divided by 2a. This was my root. So here for this part, I'll just simply do uh, n is equals to minus of b, right? B is 1, so minus 1 plus, I don't have to take this minus part because my jumps will always be positive, right? So plus under root of b, which is 1, so 1 minus 4, a is also 1, so 1 times 2ac, right? 4ac, so c here is minus 2, right? Minus 2x divided by 2 1. So this will give me minus 1 plus under root 1 minus 8x, right, divided by 2. This will be my n. So I can say that n is directly proportional to root of x, right? This will give me that n is directly proportional to root of x. So 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 my answer is going to be, my total answer is, this will be 1, this will be plus, right? This is 1 plus x, 8x, right? So n is directly proportional to square root of x, right? This is directly proportional to square root of x. So it means that my time complexity will be O of root x, right? Big O of root x. This will be my time complexity for this question. So I hope you understand this question. If you don't, I would suggest rewatch the part if